but there's just something missing. It feels awkward. You can also see he's nervous. I mean, it's a good question. And she didn't ask the elephant in the room, but she kind of did, right?
Baby, when I say drama, I mean drama. Blake Lively literally broke down after Ryan Reynolds humiliated her during his latest interview. And yes, it's every bit as messy as you're imagining. Picture this. Ryan steps onto the stage at the TIME100 Creative Summit. All charm, all jokes, all Ryan, but guess what was missing? Not a single word, not even a casual nod about Blake. Not one.
Blake.
He didn't actually say anything about Blake Lively, and that's kind of the point.
Not even a tiny thank you to my wife moment. Nothing. And honestly, that's beyond ridiculous.
The Ryan Reynolds Hollywood PR machine is in full effect, appearing in both The Hollywood Reporter and the TIME100 Creative Summit.
This event was supposed to be a celebration, a night where big thinkers, creators, and Hollywood's finest gathered to shine. But instead, Ryan used his big moment to basically drop a grenade on his marriage, and oh, people noticed.
Fails to mention Blake at the summit as he swerves these questions about the negative headlines.
Because instead of uplifting and celebrating, Ryan casually delivered a bomb. And baby, the internet was eating it up.
He's like,
what the headlines are saying about you. So how has that media attention impacted your brand, your businesses?
Well,
I mean, it's a good question.
you know, no, it's like Tina Fey says, if you're feeling good about yourself, just go online. You know.
I mean, that's true, but of course he has to position himself right away as the victim.
During a panel where
Ryan was being praised for his creativity and success, he cracked a joke that was sharp. He said something along the lines of, honestly, I've carried most of the creative weight in this household. It's exhausting. The crowd chuckled, that classic Ryan sarcasm. But wait, let's slow down. Who was he throwing shade at? Yup, Blake. The same woman who co-created brands with him strutted alongside him on every red carpet like a living, breathing PR dream, and he just erased her. And guess what? He wasn't even done dragging her.
Which is so true. Honestly, I give a lot of talks to students about storytelling and about, how you can do it in different buckets. You can do it in unexpected ways. My company's North Star is bringing people together in smart, fun, and unexpected ways.
Oh, he kept going. Ryan then launched into this long theatrical monologue about his creative struggles, about all his failures, about his solo battles.
But I went, and that also helped with a lot of things too. So those are two weird tools that I didn't expect to advance things in other areas. I didn't become my career was an aggregate. It was very slow, so I didn't have that overnight success.
He made it sound like a lonely, heroic journey, like it was just him against the world. No mention of Blake standing right there, helping him turn aviation gin into a monster success. No hint that she lifted him up during those failures. Nada.
30s when I started, so I had it was the risk of dying from fame is much, much lower when you get older. So
he painted himself as this solo genius. No Blake, no team, just him. And then...
And when I do these talks, sometimes the last one I did, I mentioned that the greatest superpower I ever had in my life, I'm not talking about just my career or anything, was knowing who I am.
He really twisted the knife. Ryan started bragging about being a creative risk taker, making it sound like he was dragging around dead weight. Blake was holding him back. Sure, the audience laughed because of his cute smirk, but once you peel back the sarcasm, it was cold. It was calculated. It was a slap in the face dressed up as a joke.
So who is he? He's the guy who clicked when he read the negative and the positive article about himself? So which was it? You're not either of those, okay? Well, how did you know who you are?
And don't even get me started on TikTok. Body language experts zoomed in, breaking down every microexpression. The way he paused after mentioning their brands, the head tilt, the dismissive smirk. It wasn't light teasing, it was condescending, and the fact he brought it up unprovoked, major red flag. Nobody expected Ryan to throw Blake under the bus in front of the world. And
I think she's having a great year, and our role is to be the humanities guide to trusted journalism. And so
in the aftermath, chilling. Blake, queen of quick clapbacks, went silent. No witty Instagram posts, no cheeky TikToks, no red carpet flashbacks, nothing. And baby, when Blake goes silent, it's not because she's out of captions. It's because the PR teams are throwing up DEFCON 5 alarms.
And to know it wasn't just Justin, Tim Miller, others, and it seems like Ryan came around and apologized to them. Ryan and Tim apparently are better now. But man, this is tough to watch.
And the fans, oh, they noticed. Hardcore. Eagle-eyed Stan started digging through her socials and found that Blake quietly unliked a few old couple goals posts. Not a full purge, but subtle enough to get tongues wagging. And you'll only know. Once that gossip train leaves the station, it's not slowing down.
You know, no, it's like Tina Fey says, if you're feeling good about yourself, just go online.
So the question is, was this silence a PR strategy? Go dark, let the outrage die down, and pop back up all smiles? Or was Blake genuinely hurt, too shattered to even fake a clapback? Either way, her silence was deafening.
And that's kind of the point. Fails to mention Blake at the summit as he swerves these questions about the negative headlines.
And then, the couple that practically invented the public flirting game, ghost town. Birthday shoutouts, gone. Cheeky comments, ghosted. The silence was loud and the internet spiraled hard.
That's the reality check that I think Blake and Ryan are refusing to accept. Just take some accountability, dude. You've dug yourself in such a hole and revealing the forced emails you wanted to do. I mean, we know. I don't have to tell all you guys, but the things he forced and yelled at Justin to do, it's sad, man.
Because let's be real, Ryan and Blake aren't just spouses. They're a brand. Their entire shtick is based on being the perfect, witty, relatable couple. So when Ryan minimized Blake's role and she didn't say a word, it wasn't just personal, it was business.
The storytellers. You know, Ryan Reynolds was on the summit yesterday being interviewed, not Blake, even though she was being, actually the one on the TIME100. She couldn't handle the interview, but Ryan was.
Her team.
It was strategic silence. And make no mistake, her team knows exactly what's at stake. One wrong word, the media spins it into divorce imminent headlines, so Blake froze. She controlled the narrative by not giving the tabloids anything to feed on. Classic crisis management. But just because you put out the fire doesn't mean the house isn't damaged. It just buys you time.
Now, granted, it's not a lot of views, it's Time magazine, but still, you'd think he'd be a big enough star that he'd have a fan base that would be out there defending him and going, but I think even his fans know.
But fans aren't stupid. They've seen this script before. The silent treatment, the sudden, we're fine, here's a random photo dump post. It's a cycle. And right now, Blake's deep in the do not engage phase. The real tea? Does she even want to go back to how things were?
You've intentionally positioned yourself as the face of your many businesses, which obviously has a huge upside. You can feature Deadpool in these commercials. People know who you are. The downside is you cannot always control what the internet is saying about you.
Because baby, let's drop the rom-com fantasy for a sec. Behind that charming Deadpool grin, Ryan Reynolds is a PR genius. And maybe, just maybe, that whole funny down-to-earth hubby thing, it's just a character too.
Do these talks. Sometimes the last one I did, I mentioned that the greatest superpower I ever had in my life, I'm not talking about just my career or anything, was knowing who I am.
Let's get real. Ryan Reynolds doesn't just post goofy dad jokes. Every move he makes is calculated. This man's branding, tighter than Blake's red carpet bun.
Well, so Ryan Reynolds was interviewed on stage and he talked about, and he got some good questions, but of course he didn't answer the question.
And in interviews, he controls the narrative like a Marvel villain in cashmere. Charming, but very strategic.
Dude, I like your movies, you're funny, I'm gonna try to ignore all the other stuff. I still wanna see Deadpool, but you, man, yeah, I'm disappointed.
No hate. Ryan's smart, but all that relatable guy act, it's starting to feel forced. Meanwhile, Blake, you can see it. The tight-lipped smiles when he speaks for both of them, exhausted. Was Blake even supposed to be at the summit? Or was it a package deal to book Ryan? Because honey, she did not look thrilled. Sources say she's overplaying sidekick in the Ryan show. When you marry a PR mastermind, even your silence becomes headline news. Ryan talks about storytelling personalities, while Blake's left smiling through the chaos. Meanwhile, TikTok's doing full CSI breakdowns of Blake's expressions, and the Hollywood machine already circling, judging her face, her body, her entire existence. Same old story, eat women alive, celebrate the men. Ryan's been weaponizing PR for months, dragging Blake, shading Justin Baldoni, crafting the perfect image while Blake gets picked apart. Even announcing their new home in Salem, hello witch vibes. Blake's cracking under pressure while Ryan smiles and sips gin, and you can tell Ryan's nervous now. He knows the next hard question could unravel it all. Meanwhile, Blake's just tired of playing Instagram Barbie to his internet boyfriend act. Hollywood's double standards are brutal. Blake takes a break, she's fallen apart. Ryan tells jokes at her expense, He's so relatable. Make it make sense. Blake can't win. Too polished? Fake. Too quiet? Hiding something. Too real? Unstable. Exhausting. And all this drama hurting her businesses too. Meanwhile, Ryan keeps riding the Deadpool wave. Disgusting. Their perfect facade cracked. And Blake's radio silence isn't fixing it, just buying time. Fans see through it now. And then there's TMZ dragging Ryan for trying to slip out of lawsuits after building his brand on being Mr. Relatable.